So the Maimon is explaining the whole Seder, the order of the Avodah. Yetzias Mitzrayim explained that. And then on the way to Eretz Yisrael, there's a Molech, which comes even after Yetzias Mitzrayim, which is a gewaldige Chiddush. Because Yetzias Mitzrayim means a person breaks out of his boundaries. And he's toiling, it's real, and it's Avodah. A Molech. So the answer is, as explained, that Yetzias Mitzrayim is Klippa, is obvious Klippa. Obvious Klippa. What's obvious Klippa? Transgression, things that are wrong, that are patently and obviously wrong. But a Molech is a completely different battle. A Molech is not about, of course he wants you to do the wrong thing too and transgress, but the core of it is the Etzem Metzias. Meaning to say that a Molech is masking you should do everything as long as it's for you. It's as simple as that. God of Mitzrayim, the Mesiras Nefesh, the big chassid, do everything as long as it's for you. And if that's not if that, with that component, or if that's present in our avodah to whatever degree, it's all relative. That's a slippery slide down to who knows where. For the obvious reason, because if it's about me, I'm in the mood, not in the mood, a question, not a question, justification, there's all kinds of endless justifications for behavior. So there's no end. There's no end to where it ends up. To make it a little bit clearer, explain the Chassidus that Amalek, Asher Korcha Baderech, he encountered you in the way. And Chassidus explained that it's an allusion to the word Kar, which means cold. Amalek wants to cool our ardor. That's what he's about. So how does he cool our ardor? Because basically he says, like Haman, his descendant, argued with the, expressed in the Nasa 8 Gavoya Chamishim Mama, the gallows 50 cubits high. What's the 50? The Chamishim Mama? Chamishim Mama is Bligvul. And Haman argues that in the face of Bligvul, and that's who God is, we are all insignificant. So what are you getting so excited about? Makes no difference to Hashem. Amalek says, you want to be a chassid, you're going to be a chassid. But at the end of the day, it really makes no difference. You'll get rewarded, but really, it's a big muscle, Amalek. It makes no difference. That's what he wants to call. That's the core klippa. He's telling you it's about you. It's only your gain. Makes no difference to Hashem. And therefore that means two things. As we said before, when I'm not in the mood, or this mitzvah doesn't talk to me, or I justify my behavior, especially compared to the next guy. And then worse than that, as we're learning in the mind, but the next guy is irks me because he's shining brighter than I am. It diminishes my prestige and my honor in the community or even in my own eyes. So inherent in that also is, since the other guy anyway is a bigger chassid, so why try so hard? You'll never be the star, or you were till he came along. Now he's ruined it. He's ruined it. You're not the biggest chassid in town anymore, or the second, or the third, or the fifth, or the 20th. So why try so hard? This is all the Nakud Amalek, which is Yeshes. It's all that's the Nakud of the whole thing. And where he's wrong is, and this is the answer, is Minui Melech. Minui Melech appointed king over you. The aside of that is, you are an Eved of the Melech. The Melech needs you. How could the Melech need you? Because he's chosen. Atmos is chosen. Atav v'chatonim mikol amim. And Atmos is chosen. Abish is chosen. He needs your avodah. You count, and you're significant. He needs it all the time, and he wants you all the time. So you may have justification or rationale for not or for yes. True. But Abish says, I need this. That's the answer to Amalek. So all of the cooling off and all of the tightness, you're not significant, and what's the difference? And the other guy's better than you. And it's all rooted in the Yeshes Dikataina. The Yesod is, do it because you want to be, because you need to go out of your Mitzrayim, and you got to be cleansed, and you need Kapara, and you need Gan Eden Elam Haba. That's the Yesod, and everything else follows. And you give up, and then we slow down, and then we're threatened, everything else, every other manifestation of lack of avodah, an excuse will then follow. So the Eitzah is Minui Melech, you're an Eved. Nobody asked you. Hashem created you and says, I need you. You may think it's better you weren't born, and you should think that way, actually. That's the opinion of Shammai. But you were. Hashem needs me. Why? Adonai Yada. There's no reason. That's what the whole Yesod of Purim is, Adonai Yada. And why Purim and Jews and all the Yamim Tovim after Mashiach comes, they're around, but they don't contribute because they're Giluyim. They're not the Etzem. Purim is the Etzem. It's Lo Yada. Why does God care? Why does He need me? Because of my value? I don't have any value. Nothing does. Haman's right. It's all a girdle. Girdle means it's a whim. This way, that way, no way. Nothing has any value. Novaden, but what? David chose. Nisava Kadosh Baruch Hu. You are everything to me, and I want you, and it's all I want, and I need you, and I'm affected by you. That's the core of that is lo yada. There's no chas v'sholem. There's no rationale for that. It is pure atzmisdike choice. That's the enduring, essential message of Purim, which is the essence of Yiddishkeit, the essence of everything. Why did God create? Lo yada. Nisava Kadosh Baruch Hu, because He wants to have a connection with you and I. If you think about it, yesterday Yossi was asking about Simcha, they're deliriously happy. Every day, the fact I'm alive means Hashem wants me. No matter what I did yesterday, still wants me. And it hasn't diminished an iota. If you think about it, be'emes, it's a simcha adolayada, a simcha bli gvul. He wants me. I'm going to share this with you. It's very, very raw. Really, it's only said by Fabrengen. But I've said this too many times. I'm not going to say it till the Fabrengen, so I'm going to say it now. I don't know who said it. Chassidim, Chassid said it. It goes back, and not from yesterday. And he said that even if a Yid, God forbid, stumbles in a very serious sin at night, and he spelt it out. We're not talking about in his dreams. We're talking about a transgression from the Ten Commandments. He's not exempt the next day from davening b'avodah. Imagine a shocking statement. Why? What does he mean? So a person wants to say, that's it, I screwed up, I'm worthless, I'm going to burn in hell. So that could be. But Hashem still needs you when you're davening. And that's it. That's it. He needs your davening. No matter what, because His love is unconditional. It's lo yada. It's ad lo yada. Ad here means, there's two kinds of ad. Up until, not further. Or ad means and beyond. Adeyad. So a person thinks into this, there can't be any room, any time for atzvus. Merirus, but not atzvus. And simcha, no matter what, unconditional. He needs my avodah and the details and everything. And He gives me a chance to do tshuva, wipe the slate, throws in an elam haba and a gan eden too for good measure. So that's the Minui Melech. That's how we defeat Amalek. I'm an Eved of the Melech. Sorry, I do count. Even with all of my failures. Now we're up to Zion. Yeah, I think we're up to Zion. The Ata now, tzorich love, you have to understand, ma shetzorich tchilu la'achri zara shel Amalek, why erasing Amalek, and then nachar kach davke, living this Beis HaBchira, then the Beis HaMikdash. You have to explain this. We explained Yitzias Mitzrayim, Min HaMeitzar, the whole Arichas, and we explained as we just addressed now, L'hachri zara shel Amalek, before that Minoi Melech, Yitzias Mitzrayim, Minoi Melech, Amalek, and now Beis HaBchira. Binyan Bezeh Diyinei, in Yonesh Beis HaMikdash, what's the Beis HaMikdash? We did this yesterday. We did this. But we didn't get very fast. Let's go through quickly. When he laid down there, the dream, he said, this is nothing other than Beis Elikim, Ein Zekim Beis Elikim, Shara Shamayim. The gateway, the portal to heaven. So what is it? The Eibish's throne. So again, the pasuk Mishakosov Kisei covered, glorious, honorable throne, Morim Mirishon, exalted from primeval. How do you pronounce it? Primevally, it's such a word. Exalted Mirishon from your Malkim Miktashenu is the place of our holy place. So Kabbalah explains. It won't repeat all the explanation, just let's say the facts here. Kisei Svidis Abina, covered is Svidis HaChachma, Lamed Beis Nesivus Chachma, covered is Begimatria 32, and there are 32 paths to Chachma or of Chachma, Morim higher, Al Svidis HaKeser, and Rishon Inyan Abchenes Ein Sof. Bezel Kisei covered the Morim Miktashenu, Shekolim Yon Eilu Ahoyim Eidim Begila Beis HaMikdash. These were all revealed in the Beis HaMikdash. That's the Shara Shamayim, all revealed in the Beis HaMikdash. That's what we're up to. In the Medrash Parshas Bayis, it says Medrash Parshas Bay. Just wondering why they mentions Parshas Bay. The first thing came to me, what's the difference where the Parshas is? He usually doesn't bring the mark. He just says Medrash, Chazal. Just comes to me as a spontaneously because Parshas Bay was the Istalkus of the Fitik Rebbe. The Rashvi, this is, the Rashvi message. It's just a spontaneous thing. It could be probably wrong, but this is what comes to me. Anyway. We said it was a Fabrengen, right? So we're sharing. So there it says, Hashem's throne, no evil can touch. Nemar, as the pasuk says, until evil does not dwell with you, literally. What's he saying? So since we are what? Being Beis HaMikdash is Kisei HaKavod, this is the ultimate home, the ultimate oneness. Can't bring any Ra there. We're going to merge with God and become one. We have to purge ourselves of Ra. So therefore, we have to erase, cut off Amalek. That no evil come between us, dwell there. So what is this thing? I know this is we said before in Sif Hey. It's not enough to deal with evil on the conscious level. It's a quote from Zoya. Chachma, with Chachma is beriru, there is refinement. Evil is recognized and rejected. That's all good, but that's manifested evil. Morality, right, wrong, mitzvahs. So that's what Chachma does. It clarifies it. What's good and what's bad, but Ra still remains. In other words, that's Yesha still remains. Doesn't manifest. Not doing anything wrong, but just the whole wrapped up in me. Chochmah can tolerate that. No. as long as you're doing the right thing. What's the whole avoid of the Benyani? Behavioral. So behavior is good, it's enough. But it's not enough ultimately. In the end, to whatever degree we can, we're not tzaddikim, but we can be an eved. We can be an eved. The eved take b'afkei nichale, the eved given his druthers, his hefker, but he willingly accepts the oil machal shamayim that we can do. And this oil machal shamayim, that's what he wrote there, Malik. I'm the king's servant. Oh. So this does, so that's keser. Not only is the enemy rejected, why from keser? Because keser, the gili of Rotzen, Hashem wants you. Chacham is more like the morality of Yiddishkeit, the beauty of it, the value. Chacham is the logic of it all. The logic of it all says it's do the right thing. You earn your place in heaven. No, what's the problem? But Keser, the Ratzon says, but I want you. So therefore, all your enemies you will cut off. So we're going to build a home together. We're going to build a home together, Hashem is saying. You can't come into this with Chachma, with the whole cheshbon. It's a partnership. I'll give and you'll give, and we'll meet each other halfway and compromise, and we'll live a nice life. You're the cook. I'll do the gardening. That's not a home. A home is you have to become one. Not for any gain and agendas. We're one. Nothing can get in between us then. If we're together because I'm getting something from you, then that's the Ra. That's the Ra that's in between. That's not a house. That's not a home. That's not Kodesh HaKodashim. That's a business. It's a business, a give and take, a compromise. As long as there's a profit at the end. There's no profit here. The profit is you. I want to be one with you. So therefore, there has to be the hachri zarish al amalek, the nekud of Aram, the nekud of Rav Amalek. That's a mitzias. That's a mitzias of just I am. This has to disappear. It's got to be we. If we're not coming into this as we, we don't have a home. And all I want is to be at home with you. I just want to stay home and hang out with you. That's all the Eibishter wants. It's only after eradicating the seed of Amalek, then we can build the Beis HaBechira, the home. Kisei Kovod, Morim Berishain, Mokim Miktashenu, Binyan Kisei Shukalash Baruch Hu, his throne, Shein Dovaran Negeiboy, where there's no evil that touches it. Let's begin the next place. A few words. This is what it says in Pasuk. We'll just start this. The Pasuk says in Parshas B'Shalach, we read this on Purim, before the Megillah, and your Yotzeh with this Kriya, remembering Amalek. If that matter, you also Yotzeh with the Megillah. So it says at the end, after he was defeated, so Hashem says he swears on his holy throne that his throne is not complete until Amalek is eradicated. The home is not complete. Milchama lavai, so the pasuk says it's a milchama, it's a war against the Eibishter, Ba'amalek, the Eibishter's war with Amalek, rather, midoir doir. Literally, from generation and generation. Or literally, from generation. The Lachur of the Shaili is in a movement that understood the Madua Niskru B'Pasuk Zeh Rak Shnei Doires, only 2 generations, Midoir Doir. If it would say L'Doir V'Doir, from one generation to the other, it means forever. Shomer L'Anitzchius, that's forever. Al Derech Mashakosov, until he's eradicated. Forever until he's done. The war goes on till it's complete, that we understand. Al derech mashakotzev ata avai lo'ilam teshev. You dwell forever, kisach on your throne, l'doir v'doir, forever. Why here does it say not midoir, l'doir, but rather midoir doir, which just cuts it off. One generation, another generation. What does this possibly mean? So we'll continue the answer, Be'ez Hashem, on Monday.